this.
Guess what, John? I'm not gonna play the video again. John.
What?
I didn't hit the go live button.
Okay, it says.
So we are live now. We are live now. So why don't you start your intro all over again?
Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro. That memory-impaired man at the other end of the room is Bob Swami. And we're coming to you live from Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, not Auburndale, Massachusetts, but Auburndale, Florida, where you'll find some of the nicest professional people in the world of campgrounds and RVing everywhere. We also have a special guest sit-in host, Walter Swenson. Can you, Walter?
I can bring Walter up. Donna
is with Walter, and Walter's a longtime viewer up in the north. When he found out we were here, he drove all the way to Florida to be with us tonight.
Absolutely.
Wait, he's also our number one fan. He's also an engineer. So every time we get stuck on the show and we don't know the answer, there'll be a comment about 10 minutes later, and Walter will have the answer for us. We're not about being smart. Walter takes care of everything.
But look at Walter even has his own microphone. See the microphone?
I do. I have my own microphones.
We're talking into this computer. You've got yours on being held up by two boxes of rubber gloves, and mine's held up by the bottom of a water filter.
Why don't we introduce the partners first, seeing that you have one up there, John, next to you. John, pay attention. I'm talking. John, but
we have a sponsor. Remember, they pay the bills.
Oh, yeah, we got a sponsor. Oh.
Seacoast RV on Route 1 in Saco, Maine, just a few miles from Florida. Okay. In fact, is Route 1 right nearby here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You get on Route 1 and you drive 1,500 miles, and there you will find Seacoast RV, the proud sponsor of RV in New England. They have crop park models, they have elevation park models, and they have a wide variety of Winnebago products. So,
and John, for our friends here in Florida, if anybody has a park model, 80% of the park models go to Florida, Texas, Arizona, California. So this family in Saco, Maine, is the number one park model dealer for crop and elevation park models on Route 1 in Saco, Maine. 80% have gone elsewhere, but they sell more in Saco, Maine than everybody else. And they're also a great Winnebago dealer.
Bob, before we introduce our guests, we also have to put an FCC warning out that you're drinking both Jack Daniels and their margaritas because we are in Margaritaville. So from 7:30 on, we're not responsible for what is said on these airwaves.
And not starting on time will be the least of their problems.
Yeah, but I'm drinking the Jack Daniels because they don't make Jack Daniels margaritas over there. Right?
So,
John, do they have Jack Daniels margaritas?
We can create one for you.
Well, after the show, we'll go over and we will create Jack Daniels margarita.
Bob, when we came in here in January, when we came down from Tampa to the RV show, I came in first, of course, because I found the way you were lost out on I-4. What was the first? What did I see for sale on a display at the counter in the store?
Bottles of Jack Daniels.
You immediately won Zagami's admiration for the rest of the rest.
I hadn't even met Dawn yet. It was the first. I've been covering this industry for 29 years. This is the first campground I've ever been in that sells Jack Daniels in the campground store.
And you can tell that Jack Daniels was working because last year it was 25 years, and 1 year later, now it's 29 years. So your ability has already been challenged by.
All right. So who's going to tell us about Margaritaville from the ownership standpoint? You are?
But let me introduce who you are.
Yeah.
Your name is Marv Knapp. And normally when Zagami starts speaking, unless I interrupt him, many of the people, it's appropriate that it's your last name because when Zagami talks a lot, most of the people take a nap. But
so and you were a nap too?
I am.
So I've got a Ryan nap.
Randy.
Randy. I'll get 2-3 times. I'll get it right.
Okay,
Before
go ahead.
I say Marv's name, why don't you tell us who the other nap is?
He's sitting next to you.
Randy Knapp over here next
Oh.
to you.
The one next to you.
Yeah, that's Marv. If you were listening instead of drinking, you would
And
know.
I've got Randy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Randy, tell us a little bit about the formation, because this was not always an RV resort.
No, it wasn't.
You got to
This-
speak up.
Okay.
Yeah.
This property, years and years and years, decades, was the largest ornamental nursery in the southeastern U.S. And when they determined that they were ready to retire and get out of the business, we bought the property and master planned it for future uses. We didn't know for sure what it was going to be, but we've got a close relationship with our city. We worked this generation of our family. We have 11 family partners. We're in our 4th decade in this second generation.
11
So
family partners. My
11
blessing.
families. We all get along. Everybody.
We all get along.
11 people in the family, and you all get along.
Yes, 11. There's a lot more.
Try
than 11,
doing
but
that in Massachusetts.
A lot more than 11 partners. And
Wow.
we all get along and do a great job working together. But our city manager came to us and asked us if, rather than doing some of the uses that we were approved for, if we would work to try to come up with something that would be synergistic with the sports park next door. And we had been in the lifestyle family community business for years, started with the generation before us, Marv's father and my father. And we thought about it. We thought, you know what? We like doing this. We're going to come up with something that really works well. So how about if we do hospitality? We're really short with hotel rooms in our area. And what could we do that's different than just your average hotel that would create fun times and great memories? And some of our favorite memories, Marv's father was a camper. All of lifetime I remember, he used to take us on camping trips, and we just thought this was a great spot to do that. So that's how it came about. And we did not know about Margaritaville at the time. We actually opened and branded as Cabana Club, RV Resort and Cottages. And then we were ultimately approached by Margaritaville about coming on board with them. And we spent quite a few months vetting that opportunity and them vetting us. And lo and behold, we got together and made a deal, and the rest is history. And we have really enjoyed the relationship.
Well, I can tell you, and John will tell you the same thing. Like I said, I've been covering this thing for 29 years. When we get a chance to see, he's probably about 15 years now, we get a chance to see campgrounds and RV resorts all over the country. And from the day that we walked in here and met Don, this is the best resort. I'm not saying that because the owners are here. This is so uniquely different than what you see. In those of you who are campers, I think you'll bear it out. I mean, you drive into some of these places and you want to turn around and drive out. But this is what we would call a destination location. People will go out of their way to come to Camp Margaritaville. You want to add anything to that, John?
That's what we did.
Huh? That's what you do?
No, I don't want to add anything, but we have a guest here that we brought all the way down. He hasn't had a chance of words.
Stand over here, right behind you. And your name is?
Memphis.
Memphis?
Closer.
Come closer over here. And you can
Is
yell.
that it?
Not that close. What do you like most about Camp Margaritaville?
The water slide.
The water slide. Okay.
Not
That's
a lot of the water slide.
no, a lot of them don't. You have to go outside the park and spend more money and do something else, or drive to the other side of town or the other place across. John, why don't you squeeze Don over there and get a couple of words from Don?
Hold on, because Marv hasn't had a chance to get a word in edgewise yet with you.
But that's your fault. Marv is with you. I don't have any trouble, Randy. It's your problem.
Your chair up here. We can't throw him out before he gets a chance to say a word. He drove here 2 miles from the other
That's
side
right.
of the town.
It was a long ride.
Okay, so Marv, family business. Very rare today to see family business with that many members still speaking to each other
Oh, yeah.
after a year or two in business together. But you guys have been doing this for what, 2 or 3 generations, right?
Longer than that. And there was actually, our last business, there was 22 of us involved.
They shot
altogether.
10 of them.
Yep. Shot
They
10
shot
down.
10 of them.
And here we are.
And what is your particular role?
Well, I kind of watch over everything in here to make sure that it's operating good. I come from a restaurant background, and I had catering and restaurant business, and also in sales and marketing from our manufactured housing communities that we built before this.
I'm told that you were just the right height to pick the blueberries too, right?
Yeah, I had to bend down a little bit, but yeah, there were the blueberries were a good thing out here. It was a lot of fun, but we had a little fire, and we decided to change direction, pivot a little bit, and build a.
This is the
RV
result of a mistake.
That's true.
But
That is
you would never
exactly
know
right.
it because when I met Dawn up in Hershey back in September, you've got some aerial footage of this place, and it looks like a master planned community. Because there's not 1 inch, right? Would you guys agree with me? I mean, you're in the campground business. There's not 1 inch of wasted space. So whoever you got to do that, and when you look at it from a drone or from a blimp or whatever, it's just immaculate, and nobody runs into anybody because they're all like pitched in different directions.
Right.
Hey, John?
Yes, sir.
Hey, John? Let's take a quick break and let Walter run through some comments. Walter Swenson, who's our #1 fan. I see we got a lot of comments tonight.
Oh, that's
Walter,
right.
tell us who's out there.
Sure, we can do that. So we've got Dante's out there. Steve Hogan is out there. Hey, guys.
Steve's
we
from Rhode Island. Yeah.
We have all these
Chuck
comments
Lundberg.
from all over the
I don't
country.
recognize that name.
Who?
Chuck Lundberg.
Chuck Lundberg. He does Camp Talking New Hampshire. He's got a radio
Okay.
program up in New Hampshire.
We've got Uncle Bernie.
Bernie Culligan. Bernie is one of the top salesmen. You've probably seen campers in RV around the country. They got 36 locations. Uncle Bernie is one of the top salesmen in the country. Right, Bernie? Yeah.
Yeah, we got Gail Hogan, Gail and Steve from Rhode Island. Good Sam.
And Gail, tell Gail we have a Rhode Islander here from you're Groton, Connecticut. The other people are from Rhode Island. Okay. Yeah.
We got Jim Roy from Maine.
Tell him a little bit about Jim Roy, Walter.
Jim has a business doing
Airstream restoration.
customizing and remodeling of Airstreams, and is literally one of the most interesting and probably the best craftsperson I've ever seen. The work him and his team do up in Maine are just phenomenal, restoring Airstreams.
What about that Walter Swenson guy?
Yeah, we don't like him.
How can
Pain in the butt sometimes.
We invite you in to be, like a guest host, and you want to comment on yourself also?
But wait a minute, what's going on here? Walter, you're just a guest, and now Steve Hogan is saying, hi, Walter and Donna. What happened to me and Sagami? You're only here temporarily through the goodness of Dawn who allowed you.
You assume it was temporarily. The pink
Okay.
envelopes in your
All right, keep going, Walter.
the pink envelopes in your motorhome.
Walter's he's here live and he's commenting. Evening all. Oh my goodness.
All right, we got Don and Pat
Hey.
Haas.
Get to that Larry Peter quote, Walter.
Jack Daniels is good for your back, Bob. Larry
Now,
Peter.
Here's a smart man. Larry Peter runs the NASCAR program at Campers in RV and handles all the tracks and the sponsorships and what have you. And in fact, we were his guest at the Daytona 500, rain and all. But see, he's a very smart man because he says Jack Daniels is good for your back.
You're back. That's right.
All right, what's Bernie up to there, Walter?
Bernie says, I'm sure they can figure out some way to make a JD margarita.
Don already.
I have one right here. It's fantastic. I've never had one of these. Is this something or is it the way you always do it?
That's how baby always
Then Audrey Foley Egan has said, thanks to the New England weather, we ended up at the Margaritaville Hotel in Times Square this past weekend. Their staff was incredible.
Hey, Randy just told me he was at the Daytona 500 also.
You didn't call us?
Randy, tell him how many consecutive Daytona 500s have you been to?
This was my 47th.
Did you hear that? 47 consecutive.
Wow.
Hey, we got to figure out a way to get him on
With an RV?
Cameras in 47th program, 47th consecutive year. What's Audrey up to? She went to Times Square. All right,
That's what Times Square.
Talking Camp, New Hampshire is cheers.
yep.
Don
From
and Pat Hawes, better Jack Daniels than Chef Boyardee.
All right, now Walter, we should explain that comment. So the comment from Don was better Jack Daniels than Chef Boyardee. Now John is Italian and I'm Italian. Now there is not an Italian in the world that eats Chef Boyardee out of a can. Let me correct that. There is one Italian in Boyardee.
Only dented cans. That are
Only dented cans.
Better. Botulism and Parmesan go great together.
All right, Monica there.
good Lord.
Again,
Now, wait,
Steve
go
again.
back to Monica. Go back to Monica for a second here. I don't know if Monica's back in New Hampshire, but we bumped into them somewhere in Florida, right? Where do we in St. Augustine? We had dinner with them in St. Augustine. I think they might be up in Myrtle Beach somewhere. Monica, tell us where you're at. We'll look down below.
Who's that?
The Monica McGillicuddy. We had
I think
lunch
she's
with
up in
them.
New Hampshire.
Yeah. Steve.
All right. Walter, can I jump over for a minute
Yep.
to Mark and Julie Bennett? Tell them who Mark and Julie Bennett are, John.
Mark and Julie Bennett are RV Love, right? RV Love.
Yep.
And I bumped into them were you in Quartzsite too?
No.
No, in Quartzsite. For the first time, they've got several books out. And now they've moved from a Class A to a Class C. And now they're in a fifth wheel. Sandy Ellis, fifth wheel, et cetera. Jim
But I
Royce,
want to show you how smart Julie is. And Julie's a big fan of the show. So she was running around someplace today, and she sent me this. Now, for those of you who can't see it, there's a golf cart decorated with Jack Daniels license plates, and Jack Daniels looks like a golf bag or something. So Julie takes care of us and all that. Thank you very much, Julie.
okay. So, by the way, Jim Turntine is here. We stayed with his place, RV Self Park in Kingsland, Georgia, 2 or 3 miles from the Florida Georgia line. I'm going to start a band and call it Florida Georgia. What do you think? Think I'd get in trouble?
All right. Randy wants to say, Julie. Randy says hello, but you can say hello. You're on the screen. You can.
Julie and Mark,
Huh?
You guys know that?
get your next trip planned down here.
Right, you got to come back down to Florida.
Yeah.
All right, John, you got a list of videos that you shot. Want to take a shot at one or two of them?
Sure, they're only 10 seconds long, but go ahead.
No, you tell me. No, you gave you a list. Just give me the list and tell me what's on the plate.
Okay, go to Cabana Cabins. And we're staying across from him. How about you did the entrance gate? Oh, how about my wife driving to the laundry this morning, Bob?
Driving through it?
There goes Nana off to do the laundry. My granddaughter goes, whoa. But, the tower at the recreation area, the tower that's that big.
It was a water supply for the. Okay.
Okay, so before that, before we go into more videos, the whole reason we're here is this young lady sitting next to me, Dawn, who's the general manager. And you've said that before, and I've said it before. Come here. Come on back. Come on back.
No, I don't know if they want to leave. They have to leave.
Say hi.
Your Zoom in.
Say hi.
Your Zoom.
There you go.
By the way, we saw you going through, so.
Back on again.
This lady is unquestionably the most professional manager that we've seen in all the time that we've been covering this business. And we've done events out in Elkhart with manufacturing companies where they haven't provided the facilities here or provided the refreshment that Dawn has. So Dawn, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the industry, and what your plans are for making this a more of a premier destination resort. And you can ask for a raise too, because you got guys that signed the checks are here.
Right. Well, I need a raise because I have to pay them the $50 I owe them for that plug.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I need.
It's $50 each.
Margaritas, Jack.
We're only worth $50, John.
Okay, how much? Name your price at this. Jack Daniels for life. How's that?
That's going to cost you
Right.
a lot.
Give the bill to Randy. We'll give this one to Barb.
So
No,
go
I
ahead.
appreciate you being here.
There's the camera there.
Yeah, so we've been, I've been in hospitality for a very long time. I don't want to date myself. I'm just going to say 35 plus years. But this is my first run at outdoor hospitality, and what a great place to land, right? And I really feel fortunate because I do have this tremendous Nat family that I work for, and then the licensing agreement with Margaritaville that we have. And it's just such a great opportunity. I feel really, really fortunate to have.
And you were smart enough to say outdoor hospitality, because a lot of people in this business per se, when you greet them at the front desk, or the phone, hold on. Yeah. What do you want? No, sold out. Hear that? Okay. Here, the guard, security guy, whatever you want to call,
Rangers.
hello, and they have a nice iPad that you sign off, and it gives you all the stuff like that. But you know what? The attitude of the personnel that have face-to-face activity with customers, it all comes from the top. And that needs to be said. It needs to be said publicly. And
Well, we create a culture, right? And
You do.
It's the culture that extends we want to provide fun and escapism to our guests, and we can only do that if our staff feel like they're having fun and escapism.
Right.
So it's not only from me, but through the guests or through our staff and then on to the guests. So, and hopefully everybody's having fun that's here in the room right now joining us.
And I'm sure our audience would agree that it's not only the housing and, accommodations, but it's entertainment as well, especially at a facility like this that is more of a destination than a place you just park for the night and move on the next day.
For sure. And I think for me coming in, not having outdoor hospitality, I just assumed people would park their RVs and they would go head out and do something else for the day, right? They were going to go enjoy amenities. They would go visit Bach Tower Garden, which is close by. And that's not the case. People like to disconnect. They like to unplug, and they like to be here and have entertainment. So we're tasked with providing a little something for everybody. I mean, you'll meet Sandy here in a little bit. They've been here, Sandy and Jimmy have been here for a month. And they have small children, right? Ryder, I think, is 10. And they have Nixon, who's 15. So I'm tasked really with, our team is tasked with keeping Ryder happy and Nixon happy, and then all of our guests in the evening and teenagers. And so there needs to be a breadth of offering to make sure that everybody's having a great time and hanging out, having margaritas and Jack Daniels.
And the reality is, you say February in Florida, it's all retirees, but a larger group of people are full-time families that are road schooling. That's the word. It used to be homeschool, but now it's road schooling your kids. And that's another totally different demographic that probably doesn't show up in any of those how-to books.
Absolutely.
Because it changes daily. And all the people that we've known that have done the road thing, kids are the sharpest kids going because they meet new kids every month. Instead of looking through an old textbook and seeing Grand Canyon, they see the Grand Canyon. And it's so much grander than, a textbook. So you always have to be charged with coming up with something new.
Absolutely, right? Make it really fun. And for guests that stay with us for a month, they don't want to do the same thing day after day. They don't want to see the same entertainment day after day. So we try to come up with that wide offering to just appeal to everybody. A lot of fun stuff.
So why don't we ship it back to the Swensons to bring us up to date, and we'll change seats over here.
Let's
But
do
first, Mark and Julie Bennett said, we have heard wonderful things about you, Dawn. How do you make such an amazing place even better? You want to answer that?
Yeah, absolutely.
In 4 words?
You, Mark and Julie, right? We want you to come down. We need you to come back. That's going to make this amazing place even better.
And Audrey, and they travel every week from April 1st through Halloween. And they say the Margaritaville resorts are definitely providing first-class experiences, both with campers and hotels. So there you go.
Thanks,
Well,
Audrey.
John, when you think about the fact that Dawn has only been in the outdoor hospitality, this is her first job in the outdoor hospitality. We could go down this list and talk to Chuck, Dawn, and Mark and Julie, and they've seen these other people that are on the road. If this is your first foray into it, Dawn, I can only imagine the success that you're going to build from the next 5 or 10 years. Because we have seen some really exceptional people, but to find somebody that can do what she has done, and I think the biggest thing is the attitude of the people. You cannot fake passion. You cannot fake it when somebody really loves a job. And what comes through down here is what John and I have been fortunate to do for years. They love what they do, and it shows to the customers. That's the big payoff.
And when people hate what they do, would you guys agree? Have you guys been in campgrounds where you just didn't feel like they wanted you there? Right. And our audience is nodding their head. But why don't we do this? Send it back to the Swensons to bring us up to date, and we will shift some bodies around here and try something new. People are here.
Yes, bring it. You're already getting shot of us on here.
All right, take it, Walter.
All right, we got Audrey Foley-Egan complaining that we're having way too much fun.
And why is that different than any other week, Walter?
I have no idea.
Right.
Uncle Bernie says Julie has great taste in accessories. I'm assuming that meant the accessories on the golf cart.
I meant the Jack Daniels golf cart. Yeah.
Dante, yes, this is the Camp Margaritaville. Yep.
Just if we can, John mentioned it. If you have not picked up Living the R.I.P Life by Mark and Julie, that was their first New York bestseller. That is the best resource book on the market. We haven't had a book like that in 20 years. And then the second book that came out, which was also a bestseller, called 405 Hacks, that people like you, these manufacturers don't always get it right. And the reason there's so many hacks is the customer thinks about things that the manufacturer should have thought about, and does it themselves. And she put a whole book on that. So next time you go to Amazon, look for RV Hack and Living the RV Life. All right, Walter.
Both great books. So let's see, where were we?
Go to Mark and Julie Bennett, because that's a great intro for our next set
Which
of
one?
guests.
This one?
Next one down. trying. Where'd it go? Trying something new is there. Love those guys. Met in Vegas in 2017.
When they first started RVing. So with that being said, before we tell you about trying something new, we should also tell you a little bit that our sponsors for the show are Seacoast RV, Route 1 in Saco, Maine, with Elevation Drop in Winnebago. And they have a great camp store. They do a great job filling your propane tank. And they have, 4 black labs, Bob?
Yeah,
And
no, I think three black and 1 golden.
Yep. So if you like dogs, that's the place to go. So anyway, Seacoast RVs, thank you for providing that. Now,
Yep, Kenny and Amanda, thank you.
if we bring the camera right over here, ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your TV. Our friend Sandy is next to me, and her spouse. Will you give us the damn camera back?
Wait a minute. Let me,
You broke the camera.
A sharp moment.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
So tell us, rather than me interview you, just tell us who you guys are.
Well, we are Sandy and Jimmy of Trying Something New. We've been RVing full time for 9 years now. And yes, Mark and Julie were some of the first people that we met. I absolutely fell in love with them. Best people ever. But yeah, we've been doing this with our 3 kids for a long time now. Traveled all over the country, lived internationally for a while. And now we're here at Camp Margaritaville. We are absolutely in love with this RV park
it's
resort.
hard to leave once you get here.
I know. We've been here for a month, completely spoiled. Love it, love it, love it. Our kids love it. We hardly see our kids because they're having so much fun doing all the activities that Dawn has. You've done an amazing job because everyone in our family is like, we just love it. You know, our 10-year-old is like the little mayor on the green. He loves hanging out there. Every hour they have all the activities. So yeah, we just love it here, and yeah, we love RV life.
Okay, so tell us about your YouTube followers and your Facebook followers, because you have a couple more people that watch you than watch us. What are your numbers up to?
Numbers. Let's see, numbers. So we do YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So YouTube is almost at 1 million.
We're almost at 1 million. We're like 60-something thousand away from 1 million,
Okay.
which is unbelievable.
Yeah, what an honor. Instagram, we're about 180, and TikTok, we're almost at 1 million also. So
Okay,
that's where we
so
put most of our energy.
you will certainly tell those people that certainly one of the best times you ever had on any show was tonight.
Was right here, yes. Right here, absolutely.
Because
Tune in.
we're pumping you full of alcohol, so that you'll do what the hell ever
That's
we tell you to
really
do.
good,
Right?
yeah.
That really is good.
It really is good.
It really is good. So what would you say to other people that what differentiates this place from all the other places you go? And you're on the road full time, so you get to see a lot of different places. But I said there's something magic. Now, can't use that word around Orlando, okay? But there's something special about this place. What is it?
I think Dawn got it on the head when you talked about the escapism and fun and all of that. It's like, it really does come from the top, because everyone that you encounter here anywhere in the RV park, everyone's happy. They're helpful. They look like they're happy to be here. And we've definitely been to RV parks where they do not seem happy to be there.
Here's a perfect example. As we rolled in, the ranger at the front desk was so helpful, so inviting. So, welcome, guys. We're so glad you're here. And it's like, dang, from the start, it just sets the stage of what this place is going to be. And my biggest thing that I love about this place is the blue wall that surrounds here, because I feel like I'm at the ocean, and everywhere I look, there's a blue wall. And you don't have to leave the compound. All you got to do is go to Walmart, and then besides that,
like
you
we're on an island.
never have to leave.
Yeah.
So you would recommend it to others?
Oh, absolutely.
We're telling our friends on the places like, you guys have got to get over here.
So
ASAP.
if you're watching, we have a lot of content that's going to be coming out of this place, because we're filming a long form YouTube video, a ton of shorts, where just because with our platform, we do have a wide reach. We love to show our viewers like places they haven't been to, maybe places they should check out.
And then this is one of the places where we're just gushing about it because it's a great time. For the whole family too.
We call this the Four Seasons of RV parks because it's just that caliber of awesome.
Four Seasons.
With more fun. Way more fun.
Yeah. Not stuff yet.
Flag.
Why don't we?
Did he say Four Seasons?
Yes.
Not Frankie Valley in the Four Seasons.
Wait a minute, John. Hey, John.
What?
Did they say Four Seasons? Four Seasons.
Yeah.
But they don't have Four Seasons in Florida, do they?
No, one.
Lately, it's been feeling like winter. I don't know.
Winter's a week or so in January.
So, Bob, why don't you share the microphone with your two guests up there, the managers, and give them the opportunity to ask our guests any question they want about why they like it here.
Randy? You? Marv? Who wants to ask? Just throw a question out to them.
Go ahead.
So as we travel around the country, we go to a lot of different RV parks, and a lot of them have different standards and different levels of.
And some have no standards.
Yeah, some have no standards.
I was in those last week.
And as a family, we wanted to feel safe. We wanted to feel welcoming. We wanted to feel great for our family. And a lot of times, the RV parks that you pull into, and they've got people that have lived in the back for 65 years.
Blue tarps.
Blue tarps. When you go in, it doesn't feel like somewhere that feels like home. And the roads are all broken down, and there's gravel sites, and sometimes it doesn't feel as good as you want it to feel. And so I don't know. When you come here, you're just like, wow. There's not one thing that's out of place, and everything is perfectly manicured, and it just feels amazing. So that's what we really.
John, why don't you reverse that and ask some members of our audience if they've got a question for Marv or Randy?
Well, let's go one step further, Bob. Let's ask our friends who also operate the park, a very big 400. How many units here?
401.
401.
401. So pretty much the same type of thing. Do you get vibrations from your customers about what they like and what they don't like? Are they
Mostly reviews.
reviews? Okay.
Okay.
John, Randy, ask that up.
How are our reviews?
What was the question, John?
Your reviews.
How are your reviews?
Yeah. How are the reviews for the campground online?
Thank you, Walter.
Awesome. Yeah, they're encourage our viewers tonight to go on Google and look at the reviews. I think we are setters in the industry throughout the country with the reviews, and it's because of this team, the positive attitudes and the fun and the escapism and the chilling and all of those things that Sandy said.
Well, that's important from another perspective, because in the society that we live in today, there are too many people on the computer who never say anything good about anybody that does it right, but they can't wait to say something bad about it. So if in your situation, when you have that many comments coming in because they're good, then they really like the place. And they're very proud to say, hey, this is something I would recommend to my mother or my friends. And that's obviously what's coming through, because we all know what the online reviews.
So before we came out the last time, I did some homework and looked at reviews, and the campground gets either 4.8 or higher across every review site that I could find.
Out of 20?
Probably not 5. But
we talking, it's the margarita.
That's only a first.
See, it only took 44 minutes for the engineer to come out of Walter Swenson.
Walter, we have to tell you, Walter, that whenever we have
wait a minute. To Bob's point, there's 401 sites.
Co-host,
There are 75
Not quite the
cabanas.
same.
There are 326 RV sites. There are motorhome sites. There are premium sites, which are tiki sites. And then there are regular sites. If
Okay,
you will.
smart guy.
Although I couldn't find what I would call a regular site. So
Okay,
they're all
smart guy.
beautiful.
How many holes is the 18-hole golf course?
Well, hopefully 18. Unless it's a short course, then there's 9 and you have to play twice.
So here's what happens.
Wait, Walter, you're so smart. How many bottles of Jack Daniels are on the counter by the cash register in the store?
0, because you bought them all.
I didn't notice, to be honest. I didn't look.
We
5.
invite them.
5.
We invite them and they embarrass us. Okay,
Embarrassed.
we need to tell you about Walter. Walter is a computer guy, and if we're having a conversation about if somebody wants to know how far it is to drive from Washington D.C. to Dallas, Texas, on the side, Walter will say it's 417 miles, 812 kilometers. It will take you at 65 miles an hour, 21.4 hours to go there. However, if you reduce it to 63 miles an hour, it will take you only 20 minutes longer, but you'll have 22% more efficiency in your gas consumption.
And here's
That
a
is our
pissed off service.
Okay, Walter, you want to go back to
Go back to comments, Walter, and
Yeah. So I'm gonna reply to one of the comments, and it was from Uncle Bernie. Besides the alcohol, what are some of the most popular activities at Margaritaville? I'm gonna name a few, but then the owners and Don can weigh in here. Multiple pools, lots of food, as far as I can tell. They have a mini golf across the street. They have music, bands, entertainment of various sorts. So lots of activities to do, and the park is very large, so there's plenty of walking available.
Got it. E-bikes, golf carts.
Oh, that's right. They have golf carts to rent, e-bikes to rent. They do have playgrounds.
The dog's grooming
Oh,
sections.
you know what? That's right. We would dog grooming spa areas that you can take your dog over to and shampoo them and pamper them as well as pampering yourselves.
Something we enjoy: pickleball courts,
Pickleball.
trucks, and ice cream stand.
do you have pickleball courts yet, Randy?
We do. We're planning to build more.
Where are they?
There's one going back here right now.
Oh yeah.
It's one order they're planning to build more. Yep.
And one of the things that I thought was cool was the on-site people that come in to clean up your RV. Detail people. Hello. I talked to them today. It might be an expensive extra day to stay, but we need it because you can't get this stuff done in New England. You just can't. The window for getting this done is so short.
John, pay attention to what Audrey's saying there.
Yeah.
We need to take the margarita away from John.
She said, yeah, but Audrey also said, I have to ask, where is the flip-flop with the pop top in the campground?
What time? Who said that?
At 7:33, Audrey Foley Egan.
I can answer that in 2 parts.
Get closer, Randy.
I said I'm going to answer that in 2 parts. We've got a small flip-flop with a pop top that we were just awarded by Margaritaville as their #1 RV campground resort under the entire Margaritaville umbrella. So that's the main one.
That's awesome.
Secondly, we did a Zoom call today with Margaritaville Corporate, and that was part of the agenda. We want to pioneer the new flip-flop we've seen with the cruise ship. They've got the flip-flop with the life preserver around the waist of the flip-flop, and the hotels have the flip-flop. So Dawn led the charge today in convincing the group that we're going to come up with a flip-flop with something, whether it's a campfire, something that'll tie into the RV resort. So that's in progress as we speak.
Don, I've got a suggestion. You could have a bottle of Jack Daniels wrapped around the.
I think we're just going to have you, Bob, with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
All right. I can be talked into that. Yeah.
Your Instagram moments all your own.
Important question from Walter Burns. Is the beer cold at the bar?
What did you say?
Is the beer cold at the bar?
Which, I'm on the wrong Walter Burns.
Don't
What
worry
time?
about it. Listen, is the beer cold?
No, I'm looking at the wrong. What time are you looking at?
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Dawn and the Fallons and
We've had quite a few beers at the bar.
Okay, what are you asking?
is the beer cold? I know you don't drink beer. You just chug Jack Daniels.
Is the beer cold at the bar?
Bar.
It's ice cold. It's ice cold.
If you're going to bars that don't have cold beer, bro, it's your fault.
Look, that Jack Daniels bottle is already empty. No wonder he can't understand.
It is not empty.
That was full.
It's not.
We're not going to lose your liquor license, are you?
So I could chime in and say
Go ahead.
they have these special margaritas called Perfect Margaritas, and I've not tasted anything like it. We've had way too many.
30, 40 so far.
We are doing pretty good.
Not today.
And something that we actually just did a couple of nights ago was a mixology class where a mixologist came to our tiki hut at our spot. And we had a bunch of friends over, like 10 to 15 friends over. And we all were taught how to make the perfect margarita. We all got a chance to make it. And I have to say it was definitely one of the highlights of all of our friends and ours. Stay here and even beyond because
Okay.
it was so fun.
While you're on that topic, describe the tiki hut at your site.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's a big palapa over it. Have a huge bar. Palapa, like the
a roof.
Roof.
It's
the
a grass
grass
skirt
roof.
So it's probably a 15 by.
It's a huge island.
The palapa is probably 15 long by 8 feet wide. It's got seats all around it. You got a sink, a granite countertop.
Granite countertop. It's beautiful. It's all, I mean, just besides everybody that's here, you know, you have the grass, it's like a cobblestone kind of flooring, super cool. But yeah,
and then even if you came with a friend, they have buddy sites where you can all pull in opposite directions, and then you get to
share the
and
middle area. Yeah.
Everybody's door open toward it. So I mean, we've seen families out here, friends having a great time, enjoying each other's company.
So we've got a couple of other questions here. Dante's asking, how's availability? I assume he's asking, are you sold out all the time?
We're not. We always have, keep checking back. If it looks like we don't have availability, call one of our fantastic reservation staff, and they'll even quickly contact.
Yeah, we'll call.
So we make sure we try to accommodate as many as possible. So if he's not finding what he wants,
There you go, Dante.
yeah.
You really give Walter a mic and was daring enough.
Lisa Brown asked, is it security gated? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
One way in, one way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have guards. It's gated 24/7, guards 24/7.
Mark and Julie, Tiki Hut with community campfire areas, great areas for kids to play. Sonny loves the dog parks.
That they do.
Several people have asked, has Jimmy Buffett ever made it here?
He did not.
Wait, listen.
Jimmy
What's with
started.
birds? Oh my God, you guys are lit like a Christmas tree.
When they announced that we were going to become Margaritaville, he followed us immediately on Instagram, but he didn't make it to the property before he passed. He was very familiar with the area. He trained, his seaplane training was right here in Winter Haven, so he was in the area a lot, but we never got to see him here.
And Randy, what do you have that no one else knows about?
I'm sorry.
Well, now.
Can we tell them?
Well, we can. We can.
Now
We actually have both of Jimmy Buffett's golf carts that were used at all the concert tours, and we're getting ready to move one into the lobby so that our guests can enjoy photo ops and seeing that. So we're very fortunate to have those carts here.
That's fantastic. So Winter Haven. How many people can remember when the Red Sox trained in Winter Haven? Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, I remember Scottsdale. before that. Yeah.
It was after that.
And we still have the Tigers in Lakeland.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tigers in the street. Okay.
Tigers are right here, and we're a sponsor over there. We've got the Margaritaville Sunset licensed patio
Wow.
at the Tiger Stadium.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So Mark says, what I love is that you, Randy, and your team created that place before you even connected with the Margaritaville group. That is quite an observation, young lady, and that's true, right? You were way ahead.
That's true. We do a lot of listening to our guests, and we had very structured organizational meetings weekly, mandatory attendance with family members, and we took those ideas from our guests and what they had experienced at other campgrounds together with our experiences in camping and married all that to come up with the wonderful outdoor living. That's really what it's about, the outdoor living and the amenities, and then the operations and the cleanliness and keeping it safe and secure. Guests are paramount.
Yeah.
We listen to our guests.
Yeah. So Audrey's saying, I want to camp with you guys. Well, there's this thing called GPS, Audrey. Pull it up. Put Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale. Get yourself the directions. Get your group of 10 or 12 that you always go camping with, and get down here. Yeah.
Or you can plan it with RV Trip Wizard.
So make sure
Yeah, right. Trip Wizard. That's right.
enjoying the resort and have Audrey has a group, and Audrey's almost as bad as Thompson, but not quite. She is very, very detailed. She puts this group together of 10 or 12 people.
Yep, she's planning it out.
And she's got a spreadsheet the size of your arm, and everything they're going to do from the time they leave Massachusetts until the time they get back to Massachusetts is on Audrey's spreadsheet.
That's the only way to do it.
Really come down here.
Hey, Bob, we got a few minutes left. You want to show the video of the Class A motorhomes that are down here? Because there is some pretty impressive hardware. Wouldn't you agree with the
I'll do the A's. I'll do the A's and the C's.
Okay.
All right,
Those
then we get-
new ones are.
This program cuts the audio when they're doing videos, but this is an impressive selection of motorhomes and travel trailers. I mean, they got some great solitudes, and you got a couple of Brinkley's out there this weekend. But you can tell that they appreciate good quality by what they drive, and they drive it to places that enjoy good quality outdoor hospitality.
I even heard there's a bright pink fifth wheel out there somewhere.
Yeah, I got to see that somewhere. We got to drive by that tonight.
Come on, John.
Theirs. Theirs.
Was that
It starts at 8:01 at their place.
oh, John, something. Now you got a Cyclone?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
Love
I
it.
love it.
Love it.
And is this your first RV? You've been doing it for 9 years. Tell us the progression from the time that you started into what you are being in now. It's always an interest.
20 seconds because it's 7:59.
Yeah.
I'll go real quick. All right. So we originally started with a 1999 Winnebago. We went the retro route. We refitted the whole thing and made it our own and customized the whole thing. So we traveled 50,000 miles in that for about
8 years.
8 years. Class A, 30 Class A for 8 years. Raised our family in there. And then everybody's getting a little bit, so we needed to upgrade. So we went to a 45-foot fifth wheel and giant monster truck to pull it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, 2 rigs.
And since I have a pink mohawk, I decided to add a lot of hot pink in it
So we
and
got
make it stand out a little more.
That's natural. By the way, the hair is natural. Okay, we had a couple of nights. Walter Burns said, fantastic show, all impressive property. Hope to check it out one day. Dante, any direct contact info for Dawn?
We're husbands right
I
here.
know.
as we told you when we started at 7 o'clock, that we press the button at 7 o'clock.
We have no idea what the hell.
Press it again at 8 o'clock, and we have absolutely no idea what is going to happen between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Well, I want to thank all of you and all the people. We can't do this show without our fans, and we can't do it. And we should do more of this. Thank you for letting us come here tonight.
Let's just stay another week.
Right.
Let's stay another week.
Do more shows at
We would
Resort.
love to have you.
Can we do them
Yeah,
here? Too? We can do them here. Anyplace else?
Stay
Right here. So we have an open invitation to come back. All right. I want to thank you very much. John, any closing words before we
No,
hit that?
it's always a thrill to hit the road and tell our audience, both in person as well as on the screen, that we appreciate the time that you spend with us. We have many other opportunities that you could be doing at the same time, and we treasure your presence. And we'll accept your presence too.
Thank you to Kenny and Amanda up at Seacoast RVs. I'm sorry we cut you a little bit. We'll make it up for you next week. Thank you very much, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami. This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.